Hi there, my name is Lisa Monison. If this is the first time you're at my channel, welcome. Thank you for being here. And if you're a returning subscriber or first time finding this video, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. Most likely you've stumbled upon this video because you yourself or you know someone you love is struggling with a condition called Sibo. And that is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And I chronicled my journey right here in this playlist. And if you're happening to catch this video and it's not in the playlist, I encourage you, I will put it up here so that you can go back to see my full journey on the process. I searched high and low when I was suffering with my Sibo for people that had videos on, what they were doing, how were they getting healed, and really did my homework. And lo and behold, at that time, there were only 2 people that I found on YouTube that were healed and that had done the Physician's Elemental Diet dextrose free. And at any rate, I figured that when I was ready to begin my healing journey to get rid of the beast, I was going to also journal it. And I almost pleaded with God at the time and said, God, if you will just help me find the right protocol and help me heal from this dreaded disease, I will chronicle it on my YouTube channel. I already had a following on YouTube from my beauty business and being an entrepreneur, and thought I can just create a separate playlist for those that are struggling, and kind of just promise God that I would follow through and share my journey and hopefully help someone else. So if you are here, thank you for joining. Today's video is going to be kind of a follow-up. There's been a lot of people that I have been talking to, whether it be through Facebook or they'll message me here on the videos asking me a lot of questions. So I figured now was the time to kind of print up some of those things and maybe share some of the mistakes that I see people make, or just the struggles that we've all been through with this, and those of you that are still suffering. And the end state for everyone is to be healed and to be able to eat again and to be able to go back to work and to live a normal life, and for once pull up your jeans and not have your gut hanging over because you're so swollen and bloated and uncomfortable. Guys, I've been there. I don't wish this on anyone. I want everyone to be healed, and I want the circle of sickness to stop for people. And before we begin, I by no means am a medical professional. What I share with you today is from personal experience. So that's just my disclaimer that whatever I share with you, again, I'm not a doctor. I am just a person just like you that was desperately looking for a cure. And I'm going to share with you today some of the things that I did, some of the things that I see a lot of people do that I think are mistakes. And again, personal opinion. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's see. Number 1 is a lot of people expect if they're going to do an elemental diet, and I know there's lots of different kinds. I personally chose the Physician's Elemental dextrose free, which is important because a lot of people end up with yeast overgrowth from the sugar in the original. Now, some of you have done like the Elemental Heal. There's lots of different ones, and I guess it's personal preference. When I was doing my homework, the people that I saw that were getting healed, which again, I found 2 YouTubers that were healed, they did the Physician's Elemental dextrose free. The mistake that I see people making is they think, oh, I'm going to do this diet, and when it's over, I am healed, and that's that. I've killed it, it's done, and I can just go back to I can eat the next day. I'm going to be eating. And I want to tell you, even though this may be disappointing, that will not be the case. You will not be having, full-on meals, not even in the first, month, at least for me. It was very slow. So we'll go over that here in a minute. So expecting to be cured right away, yes, you may have knocked out the bacteria, but you still have a lot of healing to do. You can't just expect to have gotten in the place that you were in, especially if you've been in this for years and years, and then suddenly think, I'm going to do an elemental diet, and then boom, I'm going to be back to normal. It's going to take some time for your gut to heal. Okay, number 2 is finding that everyone that you see on Facebook groups to try to cure yourself. So you're pulling your hair out because you're in these Facebook groups, which they are good to a point. They helped me greatly. But here's the problem. When you're super sick like that, And then you're like, you go in there, you're like, oh my God, I'm having this symptom, right? And I'm so guilty of this. I did it too because you're desperate and I get it. But you go in there and you're like searching, does anybody have this symptom? Da, 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 da. Oh my God, what did they take? Again, completely guilty of this because you're desperate. But if I could look back on it now, I kind of wish I had done some of this. And immediately, like, this person said that this is what they use, I'm ordering it. And you order it off of Amazon and you keep ordering all these products. Before you know it, you have a counter full of all these supplements that you get. And then it comes to the point of like, I'm kind of scared to take it. Is it going to make it worse? Is it going to make it better? Like, I was in desperation in that moment at 3 a.m, up with a bloated stomach, sick, either going diarrhea or I can't go. I'm so bloated. And I ordered all this stuff and now I'm afraid I don't know whether I should take it. Or sometimes you start to take it and you feel worse because it's just not the right thing for you. So that's always a hit or miss, and you spend so much money on supplements. And another thing is Amazon. Be careful. I don't highly recommend people buying their supplements off of Amazon. Even sometimes it'll say it's coming from that company. You need to be so careful that it's not a posing person out there that says of the company. They can remake labels, guys. They can make it look just like the product and send it out to you. And you could be getting a counterfeit. And when you're dealing with a supplement that you're putting in your body, do you really want to put something that you are not sure if it's got fillers or pesticides or crap? I would highly recommend you go through Pure Formulas or your naturopath or an actual place that you can go and physically get it and read your labels. I know that for a lot of people, the cost of this disease can break you. It can break you. And I know for us, between buying all the supplements and then seeing the regular GI initially and all the tests and everything that you've been through and all the pain and suffering that you've been through and then the money going out on top of it. I mean, if you've been doing this for years and years and years, it's like ridiculous. And you're going through, some of you have insurance and you go through insurance through your regular doctor. But here's what I want to make a point of. You've spent all of that money and you're still here. You're still sick. And you've done round and round of antibiotic, which I tried the antibiotic route. I did because I was listening to my doctor. I didn't know where else to turn, and that's where a lot of you are. I don't know where else to go to, or I don't know how to pay for naturopath because it's too expensive for me. But here's what I want you to consider. If you've done the antibiotic route, you're still sick. You've done the antibiotic route a couple times, you're still sick. You've tried some herbals, you're still sick. You tried maybe an elemental diet, but maybe you didn't do it fully, like in the right order or the right way or whatever. Maybe you cheated with food, whatever. And you're still sick and you're still here and you're still looking for answers. I want you to weigh something. All that money you spent, and not even just the money, the pain and suffering that you are still in. Your life, right? That it's disrupting whether you're a mom or a dad, or you've been out of work because of this, or you can't function. You're in bed half the time. You're in a bathtub. You're on a toilet. You can't pull your clothes up. You're miserable. You're nauseous. It's an awful thing. And you have to weigh that as a cost to your life. And you have to get mad enough, which a lot of you already are, mad, frustrated, depressed, right? You don't know how to fix this, right? And I get it. I totally empathize with you. But it got to a point for me, which, like I said, I struggle most of my life with stomach issues, but my underlying cause for Sibo, which I might have already had some of it there over the years, but it completely flared when the doctor put me on a PPI because I went to my doctor with some stomach ailments. There was a lot of stress going on in my life. And in the past, I'd had ulcers and other kinds of things. And you go there and what are they going to do? They're going to treat that symptom. You tell them I'm burping, I'm this, that, the other. What do they give me? Bet half of you are on it. A PPI. What's a PPI for those of you that aren't sure? It's a proton pump inhibitor, which is basically an acid reducer, which takes away all of your acid. Therefore, your body cannot fight off the bad bacteria. So what happens? People end up with Sibo. And they have it for years and years and years and don't even know why they keep bloating every time they eat something. Every time they eat, they're sick. So mine progressively from that point on, you're only supposed to be on those for like 7 days. It's a temporary thing. You're really not supposed to be on a proton pump inhibitor like Prilosec or Nexium or whatever for a long period of time. I found this out after being on for 7 months. While they poked and prodded me and gave me, gallbladder tests and all this other thing to try to figure out what was wrong with me, they damaged me in the process and made Sibo flourish. Like I said, I might have had an underlying small amount of bacteria, because I always had constipation issues and problems. But once they did that, completely, bloating constantly all the time and whatnot. So I got to the point where I stopped trusting my doctors. And again, everybody, not a medical professional. This is my story. Okay. Got sick and tired of the rat wheel of just antibiotics. That didn't work. Let's try this. Oh, that doesn't work. Let's try this. Let's throw in for another test. Let's stick this down her throat. Let's stick this up her butt. Really, for real, right? You just I am not a lab rat. I am a human being. I have a life. I have a job. I have things to do. I cannot be stuck in this bed. I cannot be stuck on the toilet. I can't be stuck feeling like this. And it's a complete circle of hell. And I want, like I said, to see more people get healed. So what I did in my struggle is, the first thing I did is I started watching lots of documentaries on healing and looking at the natural routes, because medical professionals were not helping me. They were just throwing pills at me. And I watched things like What the Health, Take Your Pills, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, that sugar film. But in that process, I was searching desperately for a naturopath I could trust. And that's important. Don't just pick in your phone book, naturopath. There's somebody, call them up and be like, I need an appointment now. No. I want you to call around naturopaths, and I want you to ask, what is your cost, number one, and are you familiar with Sibo? And don't just expect, because here's the thing, they could say, oh, yeah, I know Sibo, kind of thing, just to get you in so they can get money from you. No, ask some questions that you already know the answers to see if they know the answers. Because they'll just get you in there for money. There still could be some bad ones out there. The one that I found gave me a free consultation by phone. We spoke for about 20 minutes, and then I felt comfortable enough with her that she knew what she was talking about. When she started saying things to me that I had already researched, I went, this woman can help me. And she's helped a few others with Sibo already. So please don't just pick any naturopath and throw your money their way too. You call around and you find one, even if it's not in your state. Find one that knows what they're doing and that can prescribe you, because here's another problem that I see. Please do not, out of desperation, buy an elemental diet from somebody that finished an elemental diet that has leftover bags. And here is why. The bag's been opened. You don't know how long that bag's been sitting. You don't know if that stuff has gone bad. And when you start to run out, how are you going to get more? Right? You need to have enough to do the full treatment, and some after treatment is over, you're still going to want to supplement as you're trying to introduce food. So you're not going to just diet's over, time to start eating. No, that's not how it works. As a matter of fact, I feel the best way to do it is to wean yourself. If you watch my earlier videos in this playlist, you can see that for the first 7 days, I started with a half a scoop to taste it first, the first day. And then the next day I did 1 scoop with a whole lot of water. And I didn't do a full elemental diet until the first 7 days of me just kind of trying to introduce the shake with the 3 foods that I was able to eat at the time, because I was down to chicken and salmon or green beans. That was it. It was 3 foods: chicken, salmon, or green beans. And that was all I was eating at the end. So I weaned into it, and you can see that down in the playlist. It's somewhere within this playlist towards the beginning. But when I was ready to go and do this, number one, do not have enough if you're going to do an elemental diet of the elemental diet in stock. Number 2, do not cheat on the elemental diet. Do not have some, and here's the thing, this is my experience of those that have been healed, and I'm healed, is I see people I was so hungry I had some chicken. I was so hungry my doctor said I could have some this. I was so, you know what, here's the thing, your hunger is the bug saying, please eat, please eat, please eat. And if you eat, you're giving them what they want. You have to be a warrior. You have to say, I am done with this. I know that this diet, I'm going to get sick. I'm going to get sick. Do you think that somebody that goes through cancer treatment, that's horrible? And I'm not trying to, placate that illness and what chemo is, because that's horrible, okay? And my heart goes out to those that suffer with cancer. But you are suffering with Sibo, and you have to go through treatment. So if you kind of look at it like, I am here to beat it, and go in with a warrior look. And I had a calendar, and I marked off all the days, and I was like, because I knew it was going to be hard. But I had my family supporting me. And all I needed to do during those 21 days is, Lisa, work on your healing, work on your healing. So there was meditating, there was baths twice a day with Epsom salts. I baby myself. If you can get a support system around you to, and when the family had to cook, right? That's hard for a lot of people. I blocked the door, I shut the door, they cooked out there, and they didn't eat around me. They were respectful of that. So after the first few days, you really won't be hungry anymore. The shake is going to satisfy as long as you're drinking enough of it. The other issue I see people saying when they're doing the shake is, oh, they can't stand the taste of it, or they can't get it down, or they can't get enough of it in them. And my trick for that was, you've got to have a big tumbler with a lot of ice in it. And I diluted my shake. I was still getting enough of my shake, but I put more water than what it says on the bag. And I sipped it in a big tumbler with a straw and a lot of ice, and we blended it very well. And I sipped that over an hour. I didn't guzzle it. I didn't, because that'll make you nauseous. You want to sip it so the blood sugar is going in you slowly, and you don't get real nauseous and sick. And then as soon as you're finished with it, within like an hour, you are sipping another one to keep your sugars where they need to be. So look at it again like you are a newborn baby. Okay, and you need to do this slowly, carefully, and keep the calories in there, okay? And then know that on day 5 or so, you may start to experience some die-off. Some people get it early or not. Like I said, watch my videos. I chronicle my journey. Your journey may be a little different. You might get die-off on a different day. 5, and I think it was I had a slow part, and then like day 17 or 18, I was in tears on the bathroom floor, and I filmed it. And it was hard for me to do that, but I thought people need to see this. Those that are going through this need to see this is real, and this is what I'm going through, and they're going to experience it at some point of this. And here's the thing, if you stop too short, you don't go through that, or if you stop in the middle of it because you're like, oh my God, this is so damn intense and I'm so sick, you are letting this disease win. You need to be a warrior and say, I'm done with this. I'm done with it taking my life over, and I'm going to beat it, and really, really, really be ready to do that. So let's see. Let me see what I did not mention. So mindset is important. The other thing is, make sure, like I said, you're not running out of your supplements and shakes. Another thing I see people do that I feel is, some doctors are going to say one thing and maybe they're not versed in it. I don't know. But everything that I have researched says, while you are sick with Sibo, do not take probiotics. You are putting fuel to the bad bugs by putting in a probiotic. So I personally could not tolerate it. It's not something that you're supposed to do according to everything that I've looked up. Again, not a medical professional, but I think that the science makes sense that if you've got bacteria already in there, why would you add more bacteria to cause you more bloating and pain? You do need a probiotic, but not until all the bad bugs are dead, okay? And then even with the probiotic, for me, again, being super sensitive, I did not start my probiotic until, oh gosh, it might have been a month after Elemental Diet was over, because my stomach needed to start to wean back into food. And it was liquid food, supplementing with some shakes. And then I tried to do what everybody else does, where you boil chicken and you just drink the chicken water. I had like this much in a little cup, and it was like immediate. It hit my stomach, and I was like, whoa. And let me tell you, when that happens, you think, oh my God, it didn't work. The diet didn't work. But no, what it really is, don't panic. What it really is your stomach's like, oh, my first thing of food, just like a newborn baby, it's got to be so slow. You don't start a newborn baby out with the chicken pate. You start the newborn baby out usually with, a green beans or something. So we did zucchini. My husband boiled it, and we strained it, and I drank zucchini water like this much. And then I would add a little bit more. And then within the next day, we pureed more in, and I had more of almost like a zucchini soup, but it was just water and zucchini, right? So for me, so slow, so slow. And I didn't add my herbals. We started Candibactin AR, and we did a very low dose. We did not follow the bottle. We went so slow. We started with the AR, and then after a while we were able to add in the BR, but you don't want to irritate. You want to go very slow. And we followed with the herbals just to make sure that everything was dead. Now, some people will do their herbals first or even stay on herbals during their elemental diet. For me, way too harsh for the system. My naturopath knew that, and for a lot of you, it just might be way too harsh to do. A lot of people say, well, that helps keep, if you're doing this, it's helping keeping the bugs out while you're trying to kill them with, the elementals. As they're coming out, you're killing them with the antimicrobials. But the way I see it is, if you are starving them by having an elemental diet, they're going to come out from the biofilm. They're going to come out and be like, where is our food? Right? And they're going to give you hell during that moment. But then once you're like, nope, not going to eat anything. I'm only drinking this diet, you son of a bitches. Excuse my French, but I looked at them like bugs in my system that were trying to terribly make me sick all the time, which they do. And so I was like, nope, you bastards are out. You're making me sick. I'm killing you. I am killing you. You are not getting any food from me, and you are going to die. And in their process of dying, I felt like I was dying, but I wasn't going to let them win. Okay, so please have a very strong mindset and a good support system. Don't ever run out of your supplements. Don't ever run out of your diet. Another thing is I had enough of my diet, but and I finished my diet with enough of my diet. And as we were weaning into the food, I wanted to still supplement my calories with a shake. And one of the bags that I got delivered, when I opened it and took it, it tasted different. Come to find out, it was spoiled. And so I was already off the diet, which was good. But by the time it was Easter weekend, and by the time I got a hold of, the integrative therapeutics to order the other bag of it, which, by the way, you need a prescription, which is why don't buy it from other people. Like I was saying before, don't just go buy it offline from somebody that you don't know if it's a knockoff or it's half a bag or if it's spoiled or whatever. I gave them hell and said, I need this overnight now. I'm, in treatment. I'm finished with that part, but I still need this shake. And, I was just eating my, very bland foods at the time, but it messed me up a little bit. And it didn't arrive in time. So by the time that I tried to start putting it back in, it just wasn't good. So it took a long time to heal, guys. It wasn't just immediately after it's done. I knew that I killed them, but there was still a lot of work to do. And if you get that in your mindset as well, you won't be as disappointed when you're finished with something like this. You'll think, oh, I did that for nothing. You did not do it for nothing. Know that you braved it out. You did 21 plus days. People stop too short. People do 14. They say, oh, well, it says at 14. No, go do more research. 21 days plus is where the people are mostly getting it done. Yes, you're going to lose weight. I dropped to 100 pounds at my lowest. I am now at a healthy 120, 118, 120. My elemental diet was in 2019 of March. It's 2021 now. I am eating, guys. I praise the Lord when I eat. I'm still dairy-free, gluten-free, but I watch what I eat, and it's a lifestyle change for me. I never want to go back. So I guess the next video, maybe we could talk about what we're eating, or if you have questions for me in my experience, feel free to put them down below. If you know somebody struggling with this and you fell upon this video, send them the playlist so that you can show them what I have done, and maybe it will bless them and help them. That is my mission with this playlist, is just to be real with people that are suffering through it as a person going through it. Not the doctor sending the medicine, not the naturopath or the regular medical professional, but somebody that's actually been through it, that maybe I can help somebody that's going through it. So my prayers are with all of you suffering. I really hope you find the right treatment that works best for you, and that my videos maybe give some insight. Again, find a good naturopath that you can trust to work with, and go from there and do your homework, because even with that, you got to go with what's best with your body. And if your naturopath is like, I want to put you on all these herbals, and I want to put you on this, and it might be just too much for your little system, especially if you've already dwindled in a lot of weight. You might say, hey, whoa, I want to do this, and I want to listen to you, but that seems like a lot. Can we go a little bit slower? And there's nothing wrong with you speaking up. It's your body. It's your health. Okay? All right, guys. My heart goes out to all of you, and it truly upsets me knowing there's so many people suffering with this, and there needs to be more advocacy. There needs to be more warriors. I looked at myself, I'm a Sibo warrior. You guys are warriors. You can beat this. You can heal. You can. Stay strong and find a good natural path and get to healing. Don't wait another day. Don't be like, I'll do it next week. No, say, you know what, today's the day. I'm going to find somebody. We're going to start this process. And then know it's a process from there. It may take you a year, 18 months, but it's better than the 5 last years that you've had, right? So there's a rainbow on the other side, guys. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.